Today we're going to show you step by step how to do a spring food plot that could pay big dividends this fall.
One bag does 1 acre.
Now, where could we put you is going to be the problem, though. The one right here shoots out. I'm holding on to you, Devin. Today we're going to show you step by step how to do a spring food plot that could pay big dividends this fall. Right now we've got Devin setting up the tree stand where this new food plot's going to go, and we're going to talk about the direction of travel we've seen last year, why we're putting a food plot there, the new tree stand. We're going to go over all that today. If you guys have any questions, any comments as we go through this, drop the comments below and we'll try and get back to you as soon as we can on them. So we've got 1 year of history on this farm. This plot was set up about 3 acres of corn, most of it standing corn. We got a little green plot right here, a blind and a tree stand set up right here for a northwest wind. And we did both because, you know, if it's nice weather, it's nice to be out in a tree stand. I enjoy hunting out of a tree stand. If it's 20 below zero, it's nice to have a blind to get into. But, you know, this was the line of movement we hoped to set up. You know, with the tree stand over here for a southwest wind, we knew this would be a destination. We don't know exactly where they're coming from going into the year. And through hunting here, we kind of realized the deer weren't doing exactly what we thought they would do. Most of them are coming from the west, working their way east to where we're standing here. This was kind of a destination plot right here. So everything was set up well with this last year. We just didn't hunt it much. We had other deer we were after, but I do feel like the way it was, we could have killed a buck here, but I think we can make it better. So now I want to talk about some of the things we're going to do different. Now, one thing that I've seen deer wanted to cross up here quite a bit anyway, and we needed farm access going that direction. Otherwise, you got to go up almost a quarter of a mile around this ditch and then back to get to it. And I want to have access to the plot that we're putting in. We get a deer or whatever, we can access that. And when I put these crossings in, I'm always thinking about, okay, where can we capitalize on putting that in a spot where it gives me farm access, but it also is going to have the deer utilize it within bow range. And so we have this new crossing we put in right here. If you guys want to see step by step how that's done, let us know and we'll show you that. We've got a stand just up here, like we said, for a south wind, and that's about 20, 25 yards off that. So if they use that crossing, they're in bow range already. So we've just got a couple more days to frost seed. We've got some more cold weather coming in, and then after that it's going to warm up and be 60s and 70s, so you might miss your window on the frost seeding. So got to get her done right now. So we just frost seeded this right here. This is going to be part of the food plot. What we're trying to do is create death row 4.0, 5.0, whatever it is, but we want to establish a line of movement. So this will be frost seeded. The green will follow that terrace down to that section where Devin's at, where the tree stand's at. So that's all we're trying to do, is just create a line of movement with that green source, get them just to follow that. It's going to be a narrow, long strip just for that reason. All this is going to work together, as you guys will see, to create the death row. I know I keep saying that, but that's really what I'm trying to create, is these line of movements. You know, and we know from past year of hunting, The deer tend to move from the west, moving east. Most of the food is on this farm. It's got great cover around it. So we're just trying to get them to utilize, have them walk right where we want them to walk, by the tree stand. Now we're going to take you through a step-by-step process of how we're going to do this food plot. And the reason I'm doing it in the spring is because, you know, these ideas are all the time popping into my head. I don't want to wait for the fall to have a food plot here. If you were going to establish a perennial plot and you knew the fall before, I'd go ahead and seed it. You know, it'd be great. It comes up great in the spring. It's a perfect time, but you can also do them in the spring. There's nothing wrong with just getting it done in the spring. You have to be a little more diligent on your, you know, weed, your herbicide preparation and all that, getting stuff killed a little bit better than you do in the fall seedings. But that's why we're doing the spring planting, is just because the idea just hit me here not too long ago. You know, during hunting season, we're seeing this line of movement. So we just got to get in and get it done. That's the way I look at it. So this plot's going to be about a ½ an acre in size. And what we're trying to do here is to establish a line of travel. Like I said before, the trees you see over my shoulder, that's kind of going to be where it starts, and it's going to come right through here like a death row and end at this crossing where there will be more food. There will be different stuff out here, destination, probably grain, corn, or beans. So you got to take that into account too. If you think back to death row, I always have different food plots on either side of that, trying to get them to move back and forth. And this will be the same thing, only it's going to be a food plot in itself. Step one, you got to pick your spot. You know, and why are we picking that spot? Like we said, we've seen a line of movement that's going this direction anyway. We just want to get them within bow shot. Step two, how are you going to hunt it? The first thing I always look at is access. And I'm going to say this one doesn't have great access, you know, because you got to come in from long ways. But typically the deer aren't here in the evenings when you come in. So I think it'll access just fine. We'll have a mowed trail down through here, and that's a long ways to get to. But you know, if you got a pattern on a buck, it gives you another option. Maybe you can get him killed right there, and it gives you a different wind direction too. So we can hunt that in kind of a southwest, west-southwest. We'll hunt well there, so it gives you one more wind direction, and then you got a south here, northwest up there. So it gives you, if you got a giant buck in here you're trying to get killed, it just gives you more options. All right, step three, decide how big the plot's going to be and what shape you want it to be. So you can do a lot of different things with the shape to help capitalize on bow hunting. So, you know, boomerang shapes, the ones I like, what I call death rows, long skinny ones. You know, deer are browsers, they like to walk and feed at the same time, so you just want to get them using that line of movement. So there's a lot of different things you can do with the shape of the plot, so always keep that in mind. This plot, like I said, is about a ½ an acre in size, and it's going to be more like a death row, a long and narrow strip, and we're just getting them, try to get them to walk down that. Step four is decide what you're going to plant. And now for me, I'm big on perennials, both clover and alfalfa. Those are staples on any of my farms. Love those. They'll dig through the snow for them. Of course, early season, they're really hard to beat. So that's what I'm always going to decide, you know, clover or alfalfa, or sometimes it's a mix of the two. I love my alfalfa clover blend. It's not going to be anything crazy like bird's foot trefoil or vetch or anything like that. And specifically for spring planting, I'm going to always lean toward a perennial. We'll come back in the fall and do some more annual stuff. Last year we did the same thing, had great success with it up on the hill up here we can show you. Worked out perfect. Perennial spring planting, just like we're talking about. Step five, and probably the most important for any food plot, is a soil test. So you want to take your samples in several different areas. Don't just do one spot, one core, because you might get results that just aren't accurate. So I'll take about 12 different cores on this plot, mix them all up, send that off, and now we've got to make sure we have the right pH. You got to start right there. If your pH isn't good, your fertilizer isn't going to do much. You're just wasting money at that point. So make sure you got that pH, you know, 6.5 and above, maybe 6.5 to 7 to be perfect. And then when you get that soil test back, you know what's in the soil already as far as nutrients. You'll know how much P and K you need. You know, for this planting, we're not going to need nitrogen, but if it was something that needed it, like a brassica mix or something, you know how much nitrogen to put down. You can look at the CEC. That'll tell you how much, you know, water holding and fertilizer capabilities, how much it can hold. You look at that CEC, that's real important for nitrogen because that's mobile. If you have too much nitrogen for your CEC, you will lose all that. So that's all great stuff to look at. Now, if your pH is low, you can either get pelletized lime, which is the short-term fix. That'll get you through the season. It's about a 6-month deal. So you can put down pelletized in the spring, last you all the way through the fall. But if you want to do something more permanent, then it's ag lime. Then put that down, and your soil test will tell you how much you need. You just talk to the co-op or whoever's bringing the lime, and they will tell you based on your soil test how much you need per acre. A lot of times that's how many tons. And then now as far as fertilizer, there's 3 numbers on the bag, NPK, right? Nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. And each number represents the percentage in that bag. So if you know how much you want to put down, say let's say you want to put down 150 pounds of nitrogen. Well, the percentage on like urea is going to be 46%. So you take that 150, divide by 0.46, 46%, and that'll tell you how much actual product you have to put down to get to 150 pounds. So in that case, it'd be like 330 pounds of product you put down. That will net you 150 pounds of nitrogen. So that's how you do that. Any place right in here would be good.
Yep.
We wanted to burn this plot today, but it's just too darn windy to light a fire today. But I'll tell you the big difference you're gonna have between, like, you could come in here and mow this and then come back and spray it, and you're gonna do decent, but you're gonna have to keep working on the weed pressure. If you burn it, you're gonna get a much better kill because all this dead thatch is gonna be gone. What's gonna happen is, let's say you mow it, you're gonna come and spray it, and there's gonna be a lot of stuff underneath the thatch that's still coming up that you're not gonna get when you spray it. So by burning it, look at this thatch here, look at how thick this is. All this will be gone, and then all you have is all the green that's popping up. So when you spray that, you'll get everything killed the first time you spray it, and you'll have a much less weedy plot if you do it that way. Another thing to think about is, do you want to till this? Do you want to disc it? Is there any other soil prep that you want up front? For me, that's going to be a no, because when you do that, you're going to mix up a lot of dormant seeds that are there just waiting to germinate and pop up into your food plot. So I want to just burn this, kill it all, spray it, and you got everything that just popped up, you got killed. Now there's going to be some other stuff, you know, weeds are going to pop in, there's going to be some seeds from wherever that blow in during the year, so you're still going to have some weeds, but I think that's the best way to manage it, to keep the weed pressure at a minimum. So step 7 is chemical. What do you want to use on this? The nice thing about a new food plot in the spring like this is we can come in with some hardcore stuff like glyphosate, which you wouldn't, you know, if you already had something established, you were just trying to clean up some weeds in it, you wouldn't use that. But we can come in with glyphosate, 2,4-D, kill everything that's here. Actually, Enlist 1 is what you want to use, not 2,4-D. 2,4-D's got a residual, and Enlist 1 is actually labeled to come right back over top of that with its planting. So important there. If you want to mix those two, you're going to kill everything that's here. I think that's the best way to do it. So step 8 is going to be fertilizer. Now you're going to go back to your soil test for this like we talked about and see what you want to put down and how much of it. There's some different things you can look at. I've got an app, an Ag PhD app, that tells you nutrient removal rates. And so you can always look at those and see how much is it going to remove. So say it grows 2 tons during the year, how much will it actually remove? And you got to remember, with deer like versus cattle, most of that fertilizer is leaving your plot. You know, they're browsers, they're gonna eat and they're gonna move on and they're gonna go defecate somewhere else, where if it's cattle, they're eating right here and then fertilizing your plot for you, they're giving it back to you. So just remember that you're gonna continue to lose your fertilizer, so maybe every other year you wanna fertilize again. You can always test every other year too. All right, we're standing right here with the tree stand over my shoulder. You guys saw Devin hanging that tree stand. Now, step 9 is plant your seed. Now, what are we gonna do to do that? I'm gonna use the Great Plains drill because there's just a lot of benefits to it. For one, your seed soil is great. For 2, you're not disturbing the soil so bad like you were if you were working it up and you gotta worry about, you know, big rains and washing it away, everything like that. And so, if you didn't have a drill, what could you do? You could just come in here with a bag spreader, easy enough, and just spread this. Especially the way I'm doing it with burning this, it's going to be pretty bare. By the time you spray it, you're going to have a lot of exposed soil. So you could broadcast it if you wanted, but there again, you need to up your seed rate a little bit because your germination, your seed to soil is not going to be as good as when you drill it with the Great Plains drill. I hope these steps help you guys out a little bit. Don't be afraid to get out there and try it. And with any luck, we will create Death Row 5.0 right here. I think it's going to be awesome. There's an old cattle fence here that helps you. And you get them in here feeding on this, I guarantee They're gonna cruise right down this strip like this. I bet you we kill a good buck here this fall. If you guys have any questions about the episode, feel free to reach out to me. And thanks again for watching, guys.